Ba-ding! Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly seniors, it is near. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. It is chillish outside. I'm wearing another shirt underneath this one. I had to put a fleecy blanket on my bed middle of the night. Insomnia is such a joy, flip-flopping from 3 o'clock on. Hopefully you got proper sleep, and that would be a good thing. And of course, front-loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be very awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that would be double plus good. And of course, while I can't put the names of all of my Patreon patrons on screen until I can get a proper good way at my desktop unit back and up running again, I can't do that. But these are 4 new people off of my Patreon list that I would once again like to thank. Each and every person who is a Patreon patron. Without your help, I and my aging pet, we'd be hosed like Christmas monkeys. So thank you so much for all of your help. It is appreciated. And if you would like to become a Patreon patron and help keep me and my aging pet surviving, I have links to the Patreon in the video description, along with a PayPal for possible donations and an Amazon wishlist link that I desperately need to update. But oh boy, insomnia and cellulitis and stress, it's hard to push through the executive function problems. Yay, but still, thumbs up. Ugh, I have therapy today. Ooh, and I haven't been able to do any of the work to try and stop it from doing this. But that's okay. We're going to get there. No matter what slight issues this laptop has, it is still great. There are still games that I am coming across now that this runs better than my desktop did. So I am not going to complain. I just hope my desktop unit can get fixed and up and running again without costing too much. And as soon as I get an estimate on that, I'm going to have to start begging people for help, because I'll be able to take it in there and get an estimate, but until I can get money, I won't be able to pay him for it. So, we shall see what happens. But that's how that is going on. I'm not quite sure how I got led to there, but still, let me check in my list. There is some stuff that I wanted to talk about. First off, yeah, I did get some of these things from Nexor EH. This one is for joint and discomfort such, so I'm giving that a shot, primarily for my hands. My hands have always felt like they've been smashed with hammers. They are getting super bad, where I am almost unable to use a couple fingers on here. Like, my thumb is fine, but these 2 fingers are, oh boy. So, yeah, I'm using this and such. And then there's one for cramping, because anytime, well, you know, neuropathy and my issues with heat, joy. But things are going better that way. I also was going to bring up, because that came up, the Neo situation and water. Yesterday I talked about how I felt thirsty just looking at this and going, gosh, I'm only supposed to drink 2 of these a day. I tried that mostly yesterday because I don't want to overload my kidneys, and I have been drinking a lot for a long time. I drank just this up until about 1, 2 o'clock. And then I refilled it, and then I emptied it into my body by the time I went walkies at 7 o'clock. Now, I have to drink 1 or 2 glasses of fluid when I first get up out of bed, because I haven't drank anything for 6 or 7 hours. But this, I actually stayed properly hydrated, just drinking 2 of those during the day, and then a little bit once I got back from walkies. I try not to drink too much before going to bed, because you go horizontal, your kidneys really start to work much more efficiently than normal, and I don't like to wake up 3 or 4 times while I'm sleeping to have to urinate. So I limit my fluids before going to bed, and then I have to drink 1 or 2 glasses as soon as I wake up. But even at that, not concentrated. So that's good. It did really my body, did really, really well just drinking that amount. So I could safely drink a little bit more, and if it, especially as it gets warmer, I'm going to. Because you lose water in, there's a lot of different ways. It's primarily through your bladder and your bowel. But you also lose it by breathing, and what they call other insensible ways. Sweating, your eyes, just stuff like that. You know, you breathe it out, all insensible water loss. Because breathe up against a glass and look at the fog. You're losing water when you breathe. So thumbs up on that, and I'm glad that that's working. So let me check my list real quick. This is something where neuroplasticity is important, and I'm going to talk about this in two ways for neuroplasticity's sake. Because I had issues all my life. I have always been a real stickler for like mapping. If I was playing an RPG game, I had to be able to figure out how to map it perfectly, because if you couldn't map it perfectly, there would be issues, and I could never get into the whole freeform mapping thing because it didn't make sense. And some months ago, while I was out walking, I talked with this about my therapist. Suddenly I got it, because I went from hating the game No Quest to going, oh my gosh, it's awesome because you freeform map. And I hated that at first, but then click, I made that conceptual leap. That is neuroplasticity. As long as you can continue learning and changing, your brain is good. And then again, not too many months back, with solo RPG stuff again, I was thinking about oracles. I'd never been able to figure them out. Even up until the point that I've been walking, I didn't understand. And then when I was out walking, click, and then I got it. And it's like, oh boy. I mean, now tables are great for that, but give me a 6-sided die and I can use that as an oracle and use it awesomely. I suddenly made that conceptual leap and understood it. Neuroplasticity, a good thing. You want that happening your whole life. Another bit of neuroplasticity, and of course a conceptual leap. I've talked about these little horror games that you can get on like itch.io and Steam and all that. They cost a little bit of money, like $5 or whatever, but I've complained about them because they're not really a game. They're usually exceptionally linear and moderately short. They might have 1 or 2 or possibly 3 or so different endings, but they are really short. They're not really games. And they don't really work as short stories either, because the stories that are being told are not very good ones. And so I've been having issues with that, and I've talked about it where I don't really like them because I've been trying to pigeonhole them into these old boxes of my experience, and they didn't fit. And I was out walking thinking about that, and then suddenly conceptual leap where it's, well, if I don't like them because they don't fit into any of the old pigeonhole boxes, I need new pigeonhole boxes so I can put them into boxes that actually fit them. If they're not true games and they're not true short stories, then they're something else. I haven't been able to figure out fully what they are, but while they're not full, because I think they're kind of new in this fashion, while they're not full games and they're not full short stories, what do they offer you? A short experience. It may be an absolutely silly and ridiculous one. It may be them attempting to be as serious as possible while they're doing so. But they are offering you an interactive, audio-visual experience where you will possibly feel something. You might even experience an emotion for a short period of time. And that is what is being sold. And that is what our people are buying and liking. Because I watch this one guy fairly often called Mr. Craven, and he plays a lot of these games. And he has gone through games where I've looked at it and gone, the game sucks, the story sucks, and he said, hey, I like this is good, you should pick this up. And looking at it and going, that's not good, why would you like that? That conceptual leap of, he likes it because, he had a nice bit of air popping out there. He had an experience. He felt something. He experienced an emotion, if even for a short period of time. If you get jump scared in a horror game, or you feel a slight bit of, ooh, that's kind of spooky, then right there, that's what you paid for. An experience. Not really a good game, not really a short story, a new pigeonhole box that you put it into. And once I made that conceptual leap, yeah, I can get that. I understand that fully. But this whole internet and interactive and everybody being able to do things, we're making new art forms. And they are going through their rough periods as we figure out how to do them. So thumbs up for that. Now, what else do I have over here? My leg. It's a little bit better today. Kind of, but I've been lying down all night. And so the fluid that was collecting in my leg has flowed through the rest of my body. Now that I'm upright, it's got more fluid running down into it again. Oh boy, were there lots of extra tender spots yesterday. My time sense is all mixed up. Yesterday. So that was not good. And there was not as much swelling, but swelling and more redness. It's less swelling, is not as red, is not as tender. So it might be getting better. I have to keep an eye out, of course. I need to put my support stockings on to keep the swelling down as much as I can help aid with that. And then over the weekend we shall see, but here is hoping. And of course I've got therapy today in less than a half hour, so this is going to be posted late. Checking the time, 11 minutes and change. Checking my list here again. Oh yes, this is something that really did irritate me. A couple weeks and some back, I recorded some Minecraft, that's what the words are, for my PlayStation 4. And I figured I must have done something wrong because I double tapped the share button and it put up the little recording symbol. And then I played for 40 minutes, and then you end by either double tapping or you can just hit single and then go through a menu. And when I did that, it put up the okay, let's start recording symbol again. I figured I must have accidentally turned it off because it didn't record anything for that. The entirety of that 40 minutes recording gone because it said, let's start recording. And then didn't. And so, the other day, yesterday, I tried recording Minecraft Dungeons. I carefully watched to make sure that I didn't screw up, and I double-clicked the share button. And it went, okay, it said, we're going to start recording, and it put up the little we're recording now symbol. And then when I ended, I double tapped and it said, okay, let's start recording. And it didn't record anything. And it wasn't me that screwed up because I double tapped it, watched for the symbol, and saw it when it said, let's start recording. And while I was playing Minecraft Dungeons, it never put up another symbol to tell me that anything was wrong. So when I said, okay, let's end the recording, and it said, okay, let's start, that was like a punch to the gut. I wanted to do something, and I couldn't. I'm getting better, I think, from the cellulitis, but it is still draining. About a week ago, I was feeling really energetic and filled with energy because I was feeling better. This last week, I have not. It has been draining again. And I just did not have the physical, mental, or emotional fortitude yesterday to pick myself up after being gut punched and try it again. So hopefully it's not gonna do that. What else do I have on the list here? Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of talk about cosmic horrors here. One of the things about my cosmic horrors is if you take a look at them as individuals, largely you will find that most of them are badly broken individuals. Their defining moments that bring them into maturity sometimes are when they're becoming damaged and broken by our terms. Satyr is spending the rest of their existence scouring the multiverse for dying universes to see if there is anything within that they would like to collect of dead and gone civilizations. Because something about that touches something inside of them that they need. And they can't define it, but they need it. And they're looking for it, and they're going to spend the rest of their existence doing so and enshrining in museums that nobody but them can ever visit of all these things that are found. They are broken. Just like there are, let's see, which one, like Tamacanoso, the one who runs with the pack. They run with a pack and turn their back on everything else because they lost their first pack. And that broke them. So now they do not leave their pack. There is another one of these. Well, there's two actually. There's one of them that is this cosmic horror is trapped, and it's sad. Their body is a fungal mass in the infinite city. They cannot move. They are immobile. All they have is mycelium and rhizomes to spread out from the infinite city out into the multiverse so they can at least look at what's happening out there in the other realities so that they're not just stuck and trapped. The one that I like, it's a minor tragedy, is Erugats. Erugats is another broken individual. They, as a young person, their defining moment as they were doing things and figuring out what their life was going to be, they fell in love with a particular universe. And while they were doing things, because they were young and not thinking, they had to step out of that universe, and when they came back, power up. When you step out of a universe, you get disconnected from the time sense, and when they came back, it was gone. And that broke them. All they have of their memory of it is a half-formed memory of this universe. And they want to find it again, even though they know it's impossible. As the multiverse creates configurations, it creates every possible normal configuration of matter, and these universes pop into place and inflate as they exit the singularity. There is always creation, always new universes. Individual new universes happen when extra universal energies flow into these universes at the point of configuration or as they inflate. These are individual and unique energies. Even if these energies could come back, they would have to enter another perfect configuration at the exact angle, at the exact force. The vectors would have to be perfect. There is no way that this universe will ever come back. But they are obsessively and just neurotically trying to catalog the multiverse. They have what they're known as, every single one of the cosmic horrors has little helpers called Sugo. The Amaterasu lays eggs. As they hatch, they form just drones. She keeps some, sends the rest out to her children. These mold to whatever of her children they're going to, and then they're just helpers. They do things. You don't even have to tell them to do things. They are attuned to you, and they do. Erugatsu Sugo go out through the multiverse, attaching webs to everything that might be of interest, and all this information comes back to Erugats and is cataloged in their computer, which is just informational fat stored within their body. They are cataloging the multiverse. In the human terms to look at it, the best way to think of this is, I've mentioned how there's there's the cosmic horror stuff which we can't understand, humanizing terms that tell stories that they didn't really happen that way. They're only metaphorical and figurative, but they tell the story better than any other way, so they're humanized, and then there's how we deal with them. But Erugats, the way to think of this is they sit in darkness with 1,000 eyes in their head, looking at 1,000 eyes on the ceiling of a huge dark room. And each one of these screens flashes a little bit of a sight for just about a second and then fades out, and then another one. And these are all bits from all those multiverses that are coming in and being stored. But periodically, Erugats just turns off all those screens and walks off into the dim and the dark and takes out just this one tiny piece of their half-formed memory and just sits there in the dark, carefully holding it and looking at it, desperately wishing they could have it back again. They are all badly, badly broken individuals. Thumbs up. And of course, taking a look at the time, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, I'm not really paying attention to that anymore. Ha ha ha. There's never many people that leave me comments anymore, but anything more than 0 is awesome, and I appreciate absolutely everybody who does. We have had to take my glasses off so I can see at this distance. QABANDIMAN, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. And Jesse Koskinen, 3 days off from work. Lucky you. Hope he smokes. It's roulette. Oh boy, that shot of straight meal into my mouth was, yeah, that was like a shot of lightning, I'll tell you. Thumbs up. And then we have JAYY, greatly appreciated and good to see you. Blue Toad, howdy, howdy, howdy. And then we have Jacob with a whole bunch of exclamation points, thumbs up. Floramu, yeah, reactionaries are... But then the people that watch reactionaries aren't going there to think. They're just going there to find out who to get mad at today for their 2 minutes hate. Yay. We have Libby, thumbs up and thank you. Nexar EH, greatly appreciated. I've answered some of your emails. Thank you very much for the lotions and such that you have sent. Here's hoping all of your dialyses go well. There is Sir Rosser, thumbs up and thank you. There is Armadillo, thumbs up and thank you much. Kenzie, greatly appreciated. Mappo, thumbs up and thank you. Larry from Space, greatly appreciated. Good to see you as well. Shaw with 2 W's, thumbs up. RJ Mitchell, always good to see you in the comments. And everybody, go check out RJ Mitchell if you've watched this far. The group Vesuvius on like Spotify, they just had a metal album release, so check that out. Beyond the Capsule, greatly appreciated and thumbs up. And then that is it. So thank you, each and every one of you that left me comments in the past 24 hours. You got me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people, if only for a short time, and if only in text. Thumbs up and thank you. Well, I have therapy today in less than 20 minutes. So yeah, this is going to be posted after I finish my therapy, making sure I'm actually recording. So the rest of the day, I'm just going to take it easy, try to record something, and hopefully the PlayStation will actually record it. So, until we meet again, well, still, you can hopefully do what you would like to get done. And if you can't, don't beat yourself up. Survival's important. So now, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you from the flip side, and once again, using this and not trimming off this sloppy little ending. Thumbs up. Yeah. Feels like a little blob of denture cream got loose again. Keep your teeth if you can.